Hi, I'm Dr. Valerie Small, and as I stated earlier this week, we have started the Get Naked series. And what is that series? That's the series that I'm going to do for three segments, and we are going to be looking at what I'm calling the commitment list that we made at the beginning of the year to see if we have fulfilled our obligations to first ourself. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the self and human relationships. Excuse me. Second, we're going to find out, after we have gone through that list, what is it that we have completed thus far. This is the 8th month of the year. We have 4 months remaining. What have we completed from that list? That's number one. Number two, then we're going to see how can we go back and renegotiate if we committed ourselves to doing anything for anyone else, and how can we realign ourselves to make sure that we complete those items on that commitment list. So what is it that we're going to have to do? What is it going to take for us to start checking things off of that commitment list? Some people may say it's my resolution list. I'm just calling it the commitment list for the 3 segments. So number one, did you look at that commitment list? That's what I would like to know. Number two, if you looked at the list, have you completed the items on the list? Okay, are you able to check off the items on the list that you said that you were going to do? Whether it was going to the gym, whether it was going to take a new course, okay, for self-development. We're talking about the self, okay. Did you make any promises to anyone and you told them that you were going to do something, even if the promise and the commitment was this? Watch this. Let's meet up at least twice per month, okay? Let's have dinner once a month, or lunch or brunch. Did you put that on your commitment list? And have you done that thus far for the 8 months? Okay, take a look at it. Now, the second thing that I want to talk to you about real quick is why are we not completing our obligations to ourselves? Let's talk about the self first. Why are we not completing these obligations? And what came to me, for one, some of us might be in the state, or some of us might just be a procrastinator, that we procrastinate. And when I went to go look up the definition of procrastination, because I know what it is and what the meaning is for me, but I wanted to get a concrete definition. So I went to Webster's dictionary, and they said procrastination is to put off doing something. Now watch this, to put off doing something, especially out of, listen to what it says, especially out of habitual carelessness or laziness. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I had to put on my glasses to see if I was reading that correctly. That's exactly right. It says to put off doing something, especially out of habitual carelessness or laziness. So if you're a procrastinator, that's the definition of procrastination. I became very alarmed when I saw the word carelessness, because for me, that means that we are really not taking care of things that pertain, number one, to ourselves. And why are we not doing that? So if we are habitually doing careless things, that's part of the procrastination. Okay, I'm not getting into laziness. All right, I just want to deal with the fact that it's a habitual carelessness that we are not taking care of. Why are we doing that? That's something that should be explored. So like I tell my students, let's get to the core. Why is it that I'm a procrastinator? Is it because I want to make sure that things are perfect before I do it, so we put it off? Oh, I have to make sure I have A. I have to make sure I have B. I have to make sure I have C. Sometimes you don't need A, B, and C. Just all you have to do is get moving. Okay? Just all you have to do is move forward and take a step in that direction, and a lot of things will come together for you. Some of us might be saying, okay, I need help. I need a person to come and do X, Y, and Z. I need this. I don't have anyone. So have you made the call to reach that whomever it might be that needs to help you? So when we're dealing with procrastination, what is the core and why are these things transpiring? So remember, I said that we're going to deal with the self, and human relationships. And before we can actually get to really get down to business and achieve a lot of our goals, we have to first look at ourselves and what is it that we are doing, and then what is it that we're not doing. Now, I promised you I would not be more than 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm running out of time. So what I want us to do is, number one, I want us to explore the self. Number one, are we procrastinators? And if so, why? When we were growing up, did people tell us you're not doing things correctly, or you need to go do that again, or this is not perfect? We really need to deal with the core of the issue, which is the self. And once we could figure that out, then we can return to our commitment list, okay? Because we're dealing with the self, and then start to realign ourselves and, and then make a new commitment, and then start doing that. And before I close, also, I want you to look at that commitment list, okay? Was it a realistic list? Were you or are you able to complete those things within the 12 months? Maybe you need to go back and just prioritize things. Change things around a little bit. But if that's the case, whatever it may be, I know we have to start with the self. So with that being said, look at the commitment list. See if things are in an order where you can prioritize things. What should I really be doing? Number two, if you are a procrastinator, okay, if you procrastinate, we have to deal with that. And why are you procrastinating? What is it that's keeping you from actually taking an initial step to doing what it is that you promised yourself? What have you promised yourself? Because if you're not keeping your commitment to yourself, how are you going to keep your commitment to others? So with that being said, I'm Dr. Valerie Small with a little bit of small advice. And before I say we are making things happen, I want you to get naked with me for another 2 segments. And then from there, we will make things happen. Have a great day.